Yes, the age-old question for sports officials. But basketball specifically can cause issues because of how much movement there is. In this video, we'll give you the keys to the kingdom in regards to basketball positioning. Don't know where to stand? We got you. Not sure how to start a game? Covered. Don't know where to put your eyes? Yes sirree, Bob, we've got that too. So let's go back to the very beginning. Where the heck do you start the game? Well, let's first go ahead and get out of the way that we are assuming you are working in a two-man system. There's you, and then there is one other referee. This is the case for most, if not all, youth sports games, other than really little kids where there's only one referee, or higher level high school or travel where there might be three. But where you stand to start the game depends on whether or not you are the referee doing the jump ball. If you are doing the jump ball, then you should know where to stand. But if you are not doing the jump ball, what then? Well, in that case, you are going to be off the sideline by the scorer's table. It's important to note that the scorer's table is usually operated by volunteers and, most of the time, other kids. So you can imagine the quality of work you're going to get from unpaid volunteer teenagers at a sporting event. This is why it's important that the referee not doing the jump ball is close to the scorer's table. The clock needs to start and the possession arrow needs to be set. The referee is actually doing neither of these things, but the people at the scorer's table are. And the referee needs to make sure that both of those things are done correctly before the referee moves to their first position. Speaking of moving positions, where do the referees go now? The game has just started and both referees are standing there, one of them looking like a Statue of Liberty that just threw a basketball in the air. This is when they would fall into their lead and trail positions. Each referee will be lead or trail depending on what side of the court the players are on. The goal of both referees throughout the game should be to keep all the players within an imaginary box. The referees are going to move up and down the court parallel to one another, and depending on which side of the court they're on is going to dictate who's lead and who's trail. From the jump ball, the referee that tossed the ball up into the air will become the trail referee. The referee that was on the sideline after making sure the clock has started and the possession arrow is set is going to become the lead referee. So the ball goes up, one team wins, and immediately the referee on the sideline moves to get ahead of them and becomes the lead referee. So now let's talk about zones. Each referee is responsible for certain pieces of the basketball court. The lead referee and trail referee have separate zones in order to ensure that all players are covered. The lead referee is in charge of the key, the sideline, and the small part of the basketball court just in front of them. The trail referee is in charge of everything else. One of the tricky parts of basketball positioning is the transition, moving from one end of the court to the other. During this time, the lead referee is becoming the new trail, and the old trail referee is becoming the new lead. And each referee has a different goal during the transition. The new lead referee should be doing their absolute best to get to their new position as quickly as possible. Do not run backwards. This is a recipe for disaster. Instead, face forward and keep even or even slightly ahead of the frontmost player. The new trail referee should be watching the plays during the transition to make sure that no fouls and violations are happening. Remember to communicate with your partner before the game to make sure that you're on the same page with positioning and focus in zones. Basketball is an active sport, and one of the things that makes it challenging is how much movement needs to be happening by the referees while also trying to watch a bunch of plays that are happening. You have to be able to keep pace with the players, make good calls, and be in the correct position to cover the proper zones. Hopefully at this point in the video you've gotten basketball positioning down, and if you don't, go watch it again. If you want to see more videos about officiating, visit our channel and subscribe for more.